Very pleased to introduce Pandit Ritwik Sanyal. The theme of the presentation is Philosophy of Music in the context of profound art music of Dhrupad. I just want to tell you a little bit about Pandit Ritwik, if I may. Pandit Ritwik Sanyal is one of the most eminent Dhrupad singers. A disciple of Zia Muhyiddin Dagar and Zia Fariduddin Dagar, he got the Sangeet Natak Academy Award for Music in 2013. He's also an academic, writer, and philosopher. He retired as a professor at Banaras Hindu University, where he was vocal teacher in the Faculty of Performing Arts for 39 years. He was also dean of the faculty and head of the department at the same university for several years. Pandit Ritwik has been traveling across the globe since childhood, and that is why he received a very special input to express with his own words and philosophy the ancient musical tradition of India. His father, Batuk Sanyal, was an eclectic philosopher and scholar, and his mother, Mati Ranu Sanyal, a great writer and singer. He assimilated his parents' gifts and the Dhrupad tradition with a deep research in the Indian tradition, both musical and philosophical, becoming a unique master who combines the finesse of singing with the logical way of philosophy. His masterwork, Philosophy of Music, is a book where he explains the sublime concept of music in philosophical language. I'll give you Pandit Ritwik, please.
Vande Nadatanam Tamudhura Jagadgeetam Mude Shankaram. I come from the land of Shiva, Varanasi, city of eternity, the cultural capital of India, and where Shiva is everywhere. So this was a small praise of Lord Shiva. First of all, I would like to thank the Goa Arts and Literature Festival, the authorities, for giving me this opportunity to present a very big canvas. It's not easy to put it in a simple way and in a profound way, but I'll try to make it more like a story of what my life has been in this journey of music and in the study of musicology and philosophy. And also what it means to be a thinking musician, a musician who delves also into the sound in practice, a musician who has had in the family the mother who sings and the father who is a philosopher. So it is not just talking about music, it is living in music. And at the same time, when we sing, we try to also communicate. Communication is very important, and what we are communicating, the tradition. Let me tell you the kind of music I do, the Dhrupad or the Dhrupad, is the oldest Indian classical tradition of music, both singing and playing the instruments. And it is Dhruvapada that actually connects the music of the past that we all have been trying to understand. Before Dhruvapada, we had the Pravandha, Before the Prabandha, we had the Jati Gan, and before the Jati Gan, we had the Samagan, the Sama tradition from the Vedic philosophy and Vedic practice. So it is, I always say Indian music is very unhistorical. You cannot put it down in historical framework. It is a continuous journey of both evolving musically and also involving, delving into the practice of sound and rhythm and also the lyrics. We have a very rich tradition of lyrics, the song texts. So when we say Dhrupada, it is also a lyrical tradition and it's also a musical tradition. This is very important to understand. Not only understand, to be able to appreciate what this music is. I see a very good Indian audience here, as well as people coming from all over the world in this festival. So when we talk about music, when we try to understand the philosophy of music, it is something universal. It is not just within the cultural barriers of India, because we all are seeking for the ultimate sound, the nada. So if you delve into Indian philosophy and to the Sanskrit texts on music, they don't just talk about the music of India. They go beyond that into the philosophical polemics of what is sound, what is rhythm, what is language, and going to the extent of every syllable that is important in singing. So, you see, I am taking Dhruvapada or Dhrupad as my canvas in understanding Indian culture, in understanding Indian philosophy, also in understanding the philosophy of Indian music, and also understanding the philosophy of sound, which is universal, whether it is European music or Latin American or Japanese or whatever. We are all into music, or we are into several musics, but we are also seeking for what is beyond, what can be the musical framework when we sing or play or dance. Why I bring in dance? Because in the West, they are separated. But in the Indian tradition, when we talk of Sangeeta, Sangeeta is a corpus of singing, playing, and dancing, all put together. Geetam, Vadyam, Nityam. All three are incorporated into Sangeeta. This is very important in the Indian context because dancing is an integral part of music. So Nitya is not separate from Vadya. Vadya is not separated from Geeta. So Geeta, Vadya, Nitya are incorporated. And that is why when you read the Natya Shastra, I think you all have heard of the Natya Shastra, which is the most ancient treatise of dramatics, but it doesn't talk only of dramatics. It talks about the entire gamut of performing arts. So when we talk of performing arts, Natya or drama incorporates everything. It incorporates Nitya, the dance, it incorporates instrumental playing, and it also incorporates singing. And in the Indian tradition, the voice is the ultimate. So if you can sing, there is nothing beyond singing. And there is a very interesting saying in our scriptures. It's an interesting hedonic principle, how they explain the spiritual development through the arts or through spiritual practice. They say that 10 million puja or ritual is equal to one dhyana, one meditation. 10 million meditation is equal to one japa, silent chanting, or it could be just chanting a mantra innumerable times. And 10 million japa is equal to one gana or one singing. And then they say there is nothing beyond singing that is the ultimate. And that is why when we talk of samagana, it is Gita, it is Gana. That is the ultimate, because only singing can take you to the ultimate sound. The voice can take you there. And what happens in the instrument only imitates the voice in the Indian tradition. It only follows the voice. So you will see in the Indian tradition, like I am a vocalist, but I have many instrumentalists that come to us to study Indian music, because they have to follow the raga, they have to follow the system of Indian music through the voice. They have to understand the ragas through singing. So you see, it's all integrated. It is this totality. They are not separate. They are inseparable. They are homogeneous. Singing, playing, dancing, and also acting. Also abhinaya is integrated into performing arts. They are all integrated in as the performing art tradition of India. So this is how we have to understand the philosophy. Now, I am putting it in a nutshell. When we talk about music, what determines music? The determinant. Now I go into the philosophical polemics in a simple way. So, what determines music? The sound, the nada. That is the determinant. That is the matter in the words of Aristotle, the matter, the material cause, the determinant. So that is the nada, the sound we are all seeking for. And this nada is a matrix of shabda, kala, and vak. Notice there are three very beautiful terminologies. Shabda is, any sound is shabda. We have to understand shabda, the sound that comes, whether it is noise, whether it is just the sound that flows, musical or not musical. What is shabda, we have to understand. Then we have to understand kala, the time flowing into eternity. Not just the spatial time, but also the virtual time. Because music doesn't restrict itself to the material space and time, the physical space and time. It goes into the virtual. So we have the system of tal, we have the system of rhythm that you have to learn. And you have to learn not by reading books. I never studied music by reading books only. You need a guru, you need a mentor. So Guru Shishya Parampara, the guru and the disciple, the mentor and the disciple relation is something very, very unique. If you have to understand Indian tradition, not only music, any tradition, Jyotish, astrology, literature, anything, any discipline, grammar, arts, visual arts, you have to have a mentor who is specialized. And that is why in the musical tradition we have the gharana, the school, the tradition that flows, the oral tradition that flows for several generations. I am the 20th generation in my tradition, in the Dhrupad tradition. My guru hails from Rajasthan, and the Dhrupad system evolved in the 15th century. So it is a continuous, unbroken tradition that we still practice, and not through any books. Today we have the facility, we are writing, like I have been notating, this is my recent work, the Dhrupad Panchashika, where I have actually put in notation the music that we practice, including my own compositions. So every generation of musician is also composing. It is very important to compose. So we are practicing the music that is already composed for several generations. The lyrics that we have, our gurus teach us these lyrics that comes from the tradition. And then in every generation we have the composers, which we call the Vagyakara. What is a Vagyakara? Vak and Gaya, one who is specialized in the literature. The Vak is understanding the poetry, and Gaya is singing. So one who has the ability to compose the raga, compose the music, and also compose the poetry is a Vagyakara. And not all can do that. You will find many musicians who just sing, but they can't compose. They don't have the ability to compose. So all this have been classified in the Indian tradition. It talks about the musicological system. As I was saying, if you have to understand nada, you have to understand shabda, kala, time, and vak. Vak is speech. So Saraswati is called Vak Devi because it is the voice which is most sacred. So when you are singing, you have to pray to Saraswati. She is the goddess of learning all the time in the musical system with us, and also in the system of learning something, the goddess of learning. Now, coming from the determinant, when we practice, what we do, what we sing, what we play, we have the swara, the tala, and the pada. These are the three main components. We can call it the component, and in Sanskrit we call it the bandha, that which is composed, that which is well knitted. What is well knitted? Swara, the tone, tala, the beat. It is not rhythm, it is beat, because you can actually clap. You can see in the Indian tradition, da, then ta, te, ta, tha, then ta, te, ta, ka, ta, ga, di, ga, na, ta. This is chautal. So you see, this is something very unique in the Indian tradition. Nowhere in the world you will find mnemonics, syllables that are vocalized. So you are also vocalizing the drum syllables. You can vocalize the dance syllables. Ta, te, te, tat, a, te, te, tat. You can vocalize the strokes of the instruments. Da, dir, dara, dir, dara, dir, dir, dara. So, you see, the letters, the syllables are so important. So to understand music, you have to understand both the syllabic and the tonal content. The tonal element and the syllabic element, both are very, very important. The nada and the varna, the swara and the varna. Now, in Indian music or in the Indian tradition, we don't have alphabets. It's not just syllables in the language. We have akshara. You see, just see the word akshara. What is the meaning of akshara? Akshara is not just a letter. That which is indestructible. Akshara. Shkara is destruction. Akshara is indestructible. So every letter in the Indian tradition is indestructible. It doesn't destroy. It is eternal. This body will be destroyed, but not the sound. The sound is eternal. It stays. It stays for eternally. It is always there, even in silence. So when we talk of music, we have the ahata and the anahata. The sounded and the unsounded. Both are important. The note that is sounded, ahata, struck, and the unstruck sound, the unmanifest sound. The manifest and the unmanifest. Because I think silence is very important, because when you are singing or when you are playing, what happens between the sounds? This is something we don't want to understand. Unfortunately, today we only talk about speed. I'm very sorry to say this to the new generation. They find the benchmark of good classical music is speed. They clap when there is speed. That is the most, I think, the simplistic version of appreciating Indian music. The real appreciation should be when the raga is enunciated, there is an alap. There is the space between the sounds. This is easy, but this is nice, or I don't have to say. Which is nicer philosophically, aesthetically? Now this is nada. I'm not singing a raga. There is a raga. Raga is only a canvas. But music has the capacity to take you beyond the raga. And that is nada. We all are seeking for. No matter from which country we come. You could be from India, from Japan, from anywhere in the world. We are searching this sound that is beyond us. We all are seeking for. When I hear Bach, I really feel extremely happy. It gives me sublime joy. Why? Because of this silence, because of this purity, the sublimity, the tranquility that makes the music, not just speed and glamorization. Today we are running after, hankering after publicity, after fame, after success. My Guruji used to say, the first day I had a lesson with him, he said, Beta, agar Dhrupad gana hai, if you have to sing Dhrupad, दुनियादारी से हटनी होगी. You have to go out of the worldliness. Unfortunately, today we are stuck. We are entrapped in this worldliness. It's not just music. Because we want success, we want the market. Even with literature now, our benchmark is market. How many books we can sell. Why? No one would read the Vedas, but that gives us the wisdom. We are not hankering for market, we are hankering for the quality, the excellence, our tradition, the thati. That is how you have to understand India or any culture. But we are entrapped in this illusion, the market illusion, and we are unable to go out of that. I'm saying this because I'm a musician. I feel it every moment. I can feel the pain. Because I have about 1,000 concerts in around 50 countries, but still I feel incomplete, because that is not the way. I got the experience, but I have to go beyond. My Guru says, go beyond that. That is not the purpose of music. The purpose is seeking for the ultimate sound, the nada, we are all searching for. So, swara, tala, and pada, these are the three main components of Indian classical music, and these three make the raga. Now, this concept of raga is something very unique in Indian music, because raga is not just a musical phrase. Raga is a personality, the raga-ness. So every raga has a rasa, has a character, has a beauty. Unfortunately, again, we are hankering for virtuosity and speed. This is just a warning for the new generation of Indian classical musicians who are trapped now, and they think that they can do everything through showmanship. But showmanship is not the answer. The answer is delve into the sublime, delve into the real purpose of what is music. My Guruji taught me Rag Yaman for 5 years. And now still I feel that whenever I sing Rag Yaman, I have been singing it for the last 50 years, I get new colors every time. It's unending. It's beautiful. I feel the vast canvas. It is so beautiful. That is the spirit of Indian music, what we are all seeking for. It takes a lifetime to understand one raga. I would like to just narrate a story of a very famous singer of Gwalior tradition, Karamat Khan. He was in his deathbed, and all the musicians came to him and said, Guruji, what would you like to say to us? And he said, I wish I could sing Rag Yaman in my next birth. I've still not understood Rag Yaman all these years. This is the spirit of Indian music. A great Ustad singing the Rag for 60 years in his deathbed says that he still doesn't understand Rag Yaman. This shows the spirit of Indian music and the character of raga. You need another life to understand it, to feel it, to sing it again. It is unending. So, when we say the component, the swara, tala and pada makes the raga, that is the component, that is the bandha. The Sanskrit word for raga is the bandha, that which is well knitted through the tone, to the beat and the verse. Now the story doesn't end here. You have to go further. You practice the raga, you sing. Is that the answer? No. Go beyond. What are you seeking for? You are seeking for the beauty, the rasa. Rasa is a very important element in understanding not only Indian music but also aesthetics. So rasa is, again, not just beauty. It's not just talking about the 9 rasas. It is to be able to come out of your joys and sorrows of your actual life, the existential world, and get into the realm of the essential, the spiritual. And that is what rasa is. It is this process of depersonalization of the emotions. It is not your own emotions. You are detached from that. And then you start to feel the emotions in detachment. And that is the aesthetic types that our scriptures have talked about, the 8 rasas, and then Abhinavagupta talks about the Shanta rasa. Now, Shanta, what is Shanta rasa? Shanta rasa is nothing but, it is like Abhinavagupta also says, all the rasas merge in Shanta. It is like when you are painting, you need the white canvas, which is always there. So the white color is Shanta. Because you cannot paint without the canvas. And so you start with white and you also end in white. You go beyond the colors to feel the oneness. And that is the purpose of Shanta, the tranquility, the sublimity. My Guruji used to say, when you are performing a raga, you are not, again, you don't show off the raga. You have to sing it in such a way that people realize the tranquility, the sublimity in each and every phrases that you sing, from the beginning to the end. Again, there is no beginning, there is no end. in Indian music. As I said, silence is very important. You are not ending anything. Unfortunately, today we talk of the beginning and the end. What is beginning, what is end? So, when we talk of Shrutis, Shruti is a concept. And when you actually sing a Shruti, when you actually sing that particular point where you are striking the sound, is the Shruti, the microtone. It's not just a microtone, it's the point of striking the note. And the resonance that follows is the swara. It's very interesting how they explain in the Indian musicology, in the Sanskrit text. So this resonance is very important. We have to feel this resonance. So my guru is to say that you are not singing for the audience. Today we are doing that, unfortunately, again. Because Sage Bharata says very clearly in the Natya Shastra that music is for the Adrishta. What is Adrishta? For the unseen. It's not for what you're seeing now. You're not hankering for something you have to show. Oh, I'm a very good performer. No. Sing for God. Sing for Him. Sing for the Absolute. And if you can connect with Him, the audience will connect to Him through you. It's a beautiful way of explaining. So you are not singing for the people. You are singing for God, and the people connects with the God through you. You are the medium of connecting. That is why when you see a theater, the actor is the patra. You see, patra, it's such a philosophical term. Patra is the container. I am the container. It's very important. When I drink the tea, I don't drink the cup, I drink the tea. The cup is the container. It's very important. Who is the container and what's the role of the container? The performer is a container, the patra. And the patra is not to show that I am very good, but it's a prayer. It's upasana. And that is the spirit of Dhruvapada. Why I was saying initially that Dhruvapada actually connects you to the music of the past and also the music that follows after Dhruvapada, the Khyal and the Thumri traditions, which are more secular. They are subsystems of Dhrupad. Dhrupad gives you the system, the total system. When I said Swara, Tal and Pada, it actually gives you, when you do an alap, a long raga delineation, it is pure music. It's a pure journey into the realm of sound. And if you say, what is the purpose of this? It is purposeless. When Nataraja dances, Shiva dances, if you say why Shiva dances, there is no why. Just the joy of dancing. Purposeless. So my purpose is to be purposeless through my music. I think that is what our gurus give us for years, and it takes again another years to experience it in life. I still feel I'm a very small child singing for the last 50 years. Across the world, I feel more and more tiny. Oh, questions from the audience. Okay. So I'll just finish in 2 minutes. We can keep 10 minutes for questions? Yeah. Yes. So I was talking about rasa. There are 3 elements, dhvani, chanda, and artha makes rasa. Dhvani is the resonance. Also you have the dhvani theory in literature, in Sanskrit poetics. Dhvani is resonance. Dhvani is also suggestive meaning, the meaning that is behind the actual meaning. The hidden sound, the hidden meaning is the dhvani. And then you have the chanda. What you are appreciating in tala is the chanda, the rhythm. And this rhythm is not just poetic rhythm. It is both lexical and non-lexical. This is very important to understand. When in music, you don't need to have lexical meter. It could be non-lexical. You are creating your own meter, your own thala. But what is important is that you have to understand the long and short syllables. My Guruji used to say, the ardha and the purna swara. Half and full. Half doesn't mean exactly half, but less than the purna. So dhvani, chanda and artha is the meaning, the actual lexical meaning of the poetry, the suggestive meaning of the poetry. These three together give you the rasa, the beauty of sound. I can go on and go on. You know, it's a very huge canvas, but just to give you, just sharing my observations, that what should be the approach in understanding the philosophy of sound, the philosophy of music, through Dhruvapada. Thank you again. Any questions?
I'm just going to make a very quick comment. You mentioned 1 million pujas. Don't measure up to that. There's a Jewish legend that says you can be praying and praying and praying, but if you know that one melody, then the Messiah will
Come, yes.
Whoever knows
Melody. So it's the Ghana, that's the ultimate. Yes, the singing is the ultimate. Yeah.
Please, go ahead.
Can I? Okay, do I speak? Hello sir, my name is Ujjwal Dhawan. I am a Hindustani vocal music student. Sir, according to me, an artist has to abide by 3 rules, which are isolation, sacrifice, and nature. I have two questions. So do you think the university system of music now, which is basically like 8 ragas in a year, and how you said that, you know, these great personalities you spoke of, they could not learn rag yaman, and they thought that we still have so much of things to learn in rag yaman in 60 years or 70 years. Do you think the university system of music now, which is basically 8 ragas in a year or so, do you think we're doing justice to music and the sanctity of music?
Well, you see, I have been in both the systems because I studied initially in the Guru Shishya Parampara and then came to the university with a degree. No? So I know the pros and cons of both the systems. Okay? But I think it depends on your attitude to teaching. A good teacher, no matter whether you are in an institution or you are in a classroom or you are under a tree or you are in the Gurukul, if you have the attitude, I tell you, I have taught about 3,000 students in the last 37 years, and they still remember me and appreciate me because I never compromised with my teaching. It was not just a formal, communication of just going through the course material. You see, if you just restrict to that, then you are just an ordinary teacher. You're not a guru. I'm sorry to say this. There's a difference between a shikshak and a guru, okay? It's a very big responsibility of the guru. The guru is a lifetime process. Again, guru is not a person. Guru means heavy. He carries the wisdom. It's a concept. Guru is a concept. So if you take guru as a concept, no matter whether you are in an institution, in a rotten institutional system, say, or you can be a so-called guru also nowadays, caught and entrapped in the market world. So not necessary that all Guru Shishya Parampara is ideal. Again, it's the attitude. A good guru is always a good guru. Okay? So a guru has to have that wisdom to communicate and be a very good teacher. It can be in the classroom. I have taught my students in the classroom along with the course material, but I always transcended the course material. So they find my teaching useful all their life. You understand? So it depends on the attitude.
Exactly the words I was looking for. Sir, another question, if I may. Sir, in the 21st century and in this capitalist world, sir, speaking as a millennial, as a teenager right now, sir, do you think there is a way out of that worldliness you were talking about? Do you think even if there was a way, we musicians still can feel purposeless through music? What should be my approach as a student right now towards music and a teenager in the 21st century? Because I am confused between my will to be a millennial and to really learn Hindustani vocal music.
I would just say one thing, that if you really love art or music, be honest and practice it honestly, and practice with a proper guidance from a guru, and have belief in the teacher and believe in yourself, what you're practicing, what you're learning. And I think you can go anywhere.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Please go for one more question. Yes, please.
Hello. Hello, sir. First of all, I'm really very blessed to stand in front of you today. I'm Gayatri Saraf, again a student of Hindustani classical music.
In Goa?
Goa, yes.
Kala Academy?
No, Goa College of Music.
Okay.
Yeah. So, as you said, there is more beauty in Vistar style of singing rather than Tana. But nowadays, to grab the attention or to capture the attention of the audience, the Tana is more effective. I actually believe in Vistar singing because it hypnotizes. It hypnotizes the audience, but
I think if you have to really delve into the raga, you have to understand alap. My Guruji used to say, alap is the entire canvas. And if you can learn alap properly, you can do rest very easily. Tan is not difficult. And also the word Tana again, unfortunately, has become very narrow. You know, when Sage Bharata talks of Tana, Tana is, any sound is Tan. So Shruti is also a Tan. It's a sound that you're stretching, coming from Tana Dhatu. Tan means in Sanskrit to stretch. So Tan is, even the Gamakas, today we think that shaking the voice is Gamaka. No. Any tonal movement is a Gamaka, even Mead is a Gamaka. So you see, you have to again restudy. Unfortunately, in the 20th century, some of the 20th century writers diluted our Shastra, our Sangeet Shastra, unfortunately. And we think this is our parameter of understanding Indian music. But we don't care to read the Sanskrit texts. But today it is all available. We have scholars, we have research material, So I think the new generation should go into further study, and then you will understand that there is a lot of misconceptions today. We have created the misconceptions, and we can also eradicate these misconceptions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pandit, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Wonderful presentation. Thank you all.